Welcome to the next devotional. This is actually day 31 of our study on Peter, 1st and 2nd Peter. I'm sorry this is so late, but the day has gotten away from me because I'm leaving Hope. I've accepted a position as an associate pastor up in Macon. This is going to be my last devotional with you guys, so it has been great. But I do want to talk about our verses today. This is First Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7. And I actually have this double highlighted in my Bible because it's so very important. So verse 5 says, 6, I'm sorry, verse 6 says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." How many of y'all know that these last 2 years have just been full of anxiety, and even more so with the attacks going on in Ukraine and COVID and all these things? It's just so full of anxiety and fear and worry and like what is going to happen and what's going to happen to us and what's going to happen with my family. And we can become so consumed with fear and just like that's all we can think about. It's almost like we're in a brain fog because of all the stuff that's happening with us. But God cares for you. God cares for you so very much. And because he cares for you, we know we can cast our anxiety on him. Because God cares for us, he knows what's going to happen. We can trust him with everything, especially those things that we don't know what's going to happen in the future, because God does. And we know that God takes care of us. And so what we have to do, that's why Peter says in verse 6, he says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand." So sometimes what we want to do is the reason why we have this anxiety, the reason why we have this worry is because we think we can control it. We think that we can try to, just by us thinking about it, we can control the outcome. We can control how things are going to work out, but we can't. We have very little control over our lives, but the person who ultimately has that control is God. And that's why we need to humble ourselves under his mighty hand. And what they mean by mighty hand, it's not like put his hand on top of our head, but what we're saying is like under his authority, because he is the sovereign king. He can do whatever he wants. But here's the great thing is that he's not an uncaring, apathetic king, sovereign that just spun the universe in orbit and just left us to figure things out on our own. God cares for you, and he wants to have a relationship with you. That's why he created you. And that's ultimately because he wants to have a relationship with you. And he showed that ultimate sign of care by sending his son Jesus to die for you and for me and for everyone in the world on the cross. But then it didn't end there. He rose from the grave on the third day. I have a lot of anxiety in my life right now, going through a transition, moving away, trying to put all these different pieces in place. But I know that I can trust God because I will humble myself. I will ask him for help and trust that it is all in his hand and he will take care of you. So that's today's devotional. Thank you so much for all the likes and comments and just being a part of it. If I've impacted your life or impacted your kids, thank you for the incredible opportunity that I've gotten to do that over these last several years here at Hope. And I hope you all do well and you continue to seek after God and grow in your faith. And one day, when we all get to heaven, we'll all get to celebrate all the incredible things that he has done for us. We'll hope to see you soon, and bye-bye.